Friday Fun Day, Generals. Kieran and Isaac here for you yet again for another edition of the 5-Star News.
Yes, we are, Kieran, and we're jumping straight into some school announcements today. Here's Brody and this guy here for What's Up Heritage.
Thank you. Welcome back to What's Up Heritage. Now let's get on to your Friday announcements. Our Heritage football team will be at home tonight against Central Carrollton for their final game of the regular season. Kickoff is at 7:30, so be sure to come out and support your Generals. Oh yeah, more on this is coming soon in sports, so stay tuned. Also, the FBLA Thanksgiving food drive is happening now. It'll run until November 14th, with the top class receiving a pizza party, so be sure to bring them canned goods. Oh yeah, and our final pep rally of the year will be happening today in the main gym at 2:45, so be sure to show off your heritage spirit. Now, let's get on to the weather with our weatherman, Brody Morrison.
Thanks, Kieran. And now, let's get on to your weekend weather forecast. For Friday, we'll have sunny skies with a high of 66 and a low of 33. For Saturday, we'll have sunny skies with a high of 70 and a low of 41. For Sunday, we'll have sunny skies with a high of 74 and a low of 48. And for Monday, we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 74 and a low of 54. So get out and enjoy that nice football weather this weekend. Now, let's get back to our anchors for more news.
Thanks, you two. Looks like it's going to be a little chilly tonight at the big game.
To the news now, and we found out late last week about some great news about our school.
Yep, and that news was that last year's graduating class performed rather well on the state's ACT test.
So well, in fact, they scored higher than county average, state average, and even national average.
Now that's pretty impressive. We talked to some administrators just about how big this deal is for the school and students taking the test this year.
Hey Heritage, this is Dr. Scott here. Just want to talk to you about ACT scores. We've got our composites back for the school. We're at 21.4, which is just slightly above the state average. It's above the county average, and it's way above the national average. There's still some room for growth, of course, and you guys know a higher ACT score offers you more opportunities for different schools in terms of acceptance, but it also offers you more opportunities for scholarship money.
Hi Heritage, the ACT score reports for our school just came back, and we ended up having higher scores than the county average, the state average, and even the national average. I think it was a 21.4, which means there are a lot of students here at the school who put a lot of effort into getting good scores, put effort in their energies, and even most of all, I'd say the teachers here consistently teaching the standards and showing up on those tests. More opportunities are available for our students. That means scholarship money. It's exciting to see Heritage scored so well, and the scores and the report, I think, encourage students to continue to work hard in classrooms.
Kudos to all of you that are putting in a lot of hard work with Dr. Shipley. Kudos to Dr. Shipley for all the hard work he does with your teachers and with you in your classroom. And you guys keep it up. That's a great job.
Every couple of points at most universities will get you more of their in-house scholarships. So the higher you can get on the ACT, obviously the better it does for you on a lot of aspects. Dr. Shipley here has an ACT review class, which is very beneficial. He used to run his own business and has shown a lot of benefit from that course. So if you're looking to take the ACT and you want to make sure you maximize your scores, you might want to get with him and then take it multiple times and take the course as much as you need. He does a lot of it here in-house. So some good numbers. We can always improve, of course, but so far Heritage is trending in the right direction.
That is such a great accomplishment for the school for sure, and it should remind our current students about how blessed we are to have such tremendous teachers and support staff here at Heritage.
Moving on now to the big induction ceremony that took place here at our theater last night.
Yeah, Isaac, several HHS students were inducted into the National Beta Club.
Yep, and that's a pretty big deal here at Heritage. We talked to some of our new inductees about their accomplishment. Here's 5-Star News reporters David Butler, Gabe Guffey, and Parker Scott with this report.
We have this ceremony every year to honor and celebrate all the students who got invited into the club and they accepted that invitation for membership.
These students are at the top of the junior and senior class. They have both academic and personal accomplishments, and we can't wait to celebrate with them.
It's a really big deal because a lot of these students not only are amazing academic scholars, but they're also involved in student government, and they're athletes and they're musicians.
I'm pretty excited about being inducted into Beta Club. I think that being inducted is pretty cool because we get to go and do community service and help other people that need it.
But they make sure to keep their grades really high, and they also want to take their other energy and serve the community. So these are just some really stellar students. We celebrate, like softball state championships, and we celebrate with all different kinds of athletic awards. But this is our chance to really celebrate people's academic accomplishments.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud that I made it, because it's very prestigious being in the Beta Club, and I get to do cool projects. So
the students will dress up, their parents will come. We have a formal ceremony where we say each of their names, and then at the end we have a light reception for the students and their families to celebrate this great accomplishment.
And congrats to all. Hey Isaac, did you by any chance get a stroll down in the art hallway earlier this week?
No, I didn't. Why?
Well, you should have, especially if you like Halloween and this time of year in general.
Really, I do like this time. What was happening?
Well, Miss Wells' art classes were displaying their pumpkin carvings this year, and students got the opportunity to vote on their favorite.
Now that would have been pretty fun.
Yep. Luckily for you, our cameras were down there on Tuesday, and 5-Star News reporters Talon Pickett, Sarah Sailors, and Cole Denton talked with Miss Wells and some of her students to find out more about the project.
So this year for our pumpkin carving contest, my sculpture class does this each fall. This is the way that we do subtractive process in sculpture. So they start with the material and they subtract the material to create their design. And so we do pumpkin carving to practice that. This year, during lunch today, these were voted by the students, and numbers 2 and number 7.
I got tied, and at first I was kind of iffy on it, but I decided to go with like a typical like jack-o'-lantern face, and I decided for the teeth to like scrape it off. That way it's lighter than the rest of it. And then halfway through it started rotting. And that's when I got really worried, and I had to like cut down some of the teeth and everything because it started getting mushy. But I'm glad that it pulled through. So yeah.
My pumpkin was also in a tie, and I was just going for more of like a traditional jack-o'-lantern. I wasn't trying to do anything too special. I don't know. I did want it to be kind of like spooky, so I added like the teeth, which are like sharp, obviously. Mine actually didn't rot that much, which I was very happy. I think because it wasn't like too open. The face is pretty small, so I was getting kind of nervous. But I did know that my biggest competition was going to be number 7, which is actually who I tied with. So I was like, oh, but I did pretty good. So
I got second place in the pumpkin contest with number 9. My design was a rubber duck with bubbles on the side. My thought process was really, I didn't carve this in class. I carved it at home and was like, wow, this is really good. Brought it into class and then added the bubbles. And my thought process was, I like rubber ducks, and everything else I was thinking of was way too complicated for a pumpkin. So it didn't rot, surprisingly, compared to a lot of the other pumpkins that did. But when I came into school this morning, it had fallen a little bit, so I had to put toothpicks on it. But it was nice.
They're more traditional pumpkins, but they were done very well. Were our winners. They tied, actually. So number 2 and number 7 both got 19 votes each. So that was Savannah and Addie Kate. Super proud of them. And they'll get to choose lunch of their choice for next week. So I'm excited for them.
I can definitely agree that all of them looked pretty good. Now it's time for a quick break now, however, Kieran.
Yep, but after the commercial, Bryce and Evan will join us with sports.
Playoff positions on the line. Tonight, for football and softball team have a very special visitor earlier in this week.
Those stories and much more next in sports.
Welcome to Sports, everyone, and we have stories to get to today, and the first one is about our Generals football team.
Good choice, Skylar, because tonight's game with Central Carrollton is one of the biggest games we've ever had at Jeff Sims Field.
Yep, a win tonight could go a long way to Coach Slaughter's team winning the region championship.
But Central comes to town as the region's #1 seed. What will it take to pull the upset? Here's 5-star sports reporters Logan Beasley and my main man Skylar for the game preview.
Hey guys, Coach David Gibson here, talking to you about the Central game this Friday night. First of all, it's senior night. We're going to recognize our seniors pre-game for all the contributions they've had over the past 4 years, and some have not been with us 4 years, but we want to recognize everything that they've done for our program and the leadership they provide, and just let them know how much we appreciate them, from the football players to the band members, dance, cheer, everybody that's involved on Friday nights. We really appreciate all that our seniors do for this school and how well they represent Heritage High School. It's a big game, 7:30 kickoff. The Central Lions rolling to town with basically a region championship almost wrapped up, unless the Heritage Generals can have something to say about it. So it's going to be a big night for us.
So Friday night, we got to play Central Carrollton here at home, the Taj, 7:30. Should be a pretty tough game. They got a pretty good running back, I've heard, but, we've got a pretty good defense. So we should be able to take care of that pretty easily.
We have to there's a crazy region tiebreaker, so that there's a certain number of points that we have to win by in order to capture the region crown. But if there's any other group of guys that can do it, man, it's these guys right here. Love coaching these guys. It's going to be an exciting football game. Once again, this is Heritage General football. We're all going to have to play together, all 3 phases of the game. Our defense has been outstanding this season, creating a lot of turnovers, creating a lot of chaos and mayhem in the backfields of our opponents. Our offense has got to be very timely. We've got to be methodical. We've got to hang on to the football.
I think if our offense just capitalizes, we should do a great job out there. I think we got to win by 13, I believe, 13 or 14 to become co-region champions with Cedartown and Central Carrollton. But should be pretty fun, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Central has one of the best running backs in the state of Georgia, who's very dangerous, and we've got to try our best to keep him off the field as long as we can by hanging on to the football. So it's going to be a fun, exciting game. I hope it's a big crowd, bring a lot of energy. It's going to be kind of cool. The weather's going to be nice in the 50s at game time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to feel like fall. It's going to feel like football. Come on out and support your Heritage Generals.
Good luck tonight, guys. And students, let's get out here and support our boys.
Thanks, Logan. And softball now. And Coach Crawford's girls have been back from Columbus and winning their state title for about 5 days now. So maybe that accomplishment has sunk in now.
Maybe, but man, that week was a great week.
Yes, it was. And our girls received a very cool visit by Catoosa County School Superintendent Chance Nix on Monday morning.
It was just great to be celebrated by our county office superintendent, Chance Nix, the board members, everyone else that was able to be there. Just great of them to recognize our girls and what they've accomplished this season. And we know we feel backed and supported by Catoosa County.
The lunch with Mr. Nix was really good. It felt really rewarding and deserving. We worked really hard. And, yeah, the food was really good. It was Chick-fil-A. We've been getting it a lot, but it was really good, and they're really nice for doing that for us.
It was good. It was pretty cool that we got to eat lunch with all the girls one last time before the season was over. I think it's pretty cool that we got a lot of the people from the county office to come in and show us that they care about us.
The softball lunch was really nice. They had it all decorated for us, and a lot of the faculty from the county office was there, and they were all really nice to us and congratulated us, and the administration was there, and it was a really nice lunch.
It's just that they recognize how hard the girls have worked this season. It's awesome for them to get to celebrate that, and Superintendent Chance Nix couldn't be more proud of the girls. He's told me several times, and just glad we could celebrate the girls.
That's pretty special right there. Congrats again, ladies.
To cross country now, and Coach Kraft's guys and gals venture down to Carrollton, Georgia later today to take part in the state